Thought for the day. We are what we repeatedly do.
Welcome to 7 Minutes for Yourself. I'm Christina, and I'm so glad you've joined me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. Let's take this time to reconnect with ourselves and improve our well-being.
In today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself, we are targeting our focus to reduce fatigue and increase productivity throughout our days. Have a listen.
The one thing that's equal is our time, right? Not everybody has equal income or equal network or connections. Not everyone has an equal education, but everybody has 24 hours in a day. And my goal is to get the most out of that 24 hours, and still get enough sleep. And so my day, I break down into 3 phases, and this is what really works for me for the longest time. I don't suggest you follow this rigorously, but understand the framework and the principles behind the framework, and it's going to help you with your productivity. It's certainly going to help with your performance, and even you might find your profitability and your peace of mind. Now, as I'm managing my tasks, I'd like to time chunk or task chunk these things together. That at certain times, I like to batch the tasks that are similar around the same time. So I don't have to do a lot of cognitive switchings. When you're doing emails or whatever, part of your brain is lit up. This cognitive web, this neurological web. And I don't want to go from thing to light that up, to shut it down, turn on another one and go back and forth, because you could waste a lot of time to regain your focus. You could also lose a lot of energy. We talk about multitasking and people trying to multitask and make more mistakes, but it also takes a lot of brain glucose to be able to do all that. And so the 3 different phases, I'm thinking about morning, afternoon, and evening. And I have a primary drive in terms of a focus for those 3 different parts of my day. And again, you don't have to follow this to the letter, but understand the process and the principles behind it, and you can apply it and customize it around your own life. So the morning time, my brain is not looking for input. I don't want input. I'm not picking up my phone. I'm not turning on the news. When you wake up, you're in this kind of relaxed state of awareness. You're very suggestible. So I don't want to put information in at that point, especially things that distract me and hijack my day. So I stay away from my phone. And I know it's easier said than done, but this is a discipline, right? But with every discipline effort, as the saying goes, there are multiple rewards. And for me, I want output first thing in the morning. So my focus in the morning is about creation, is to be creative. And it takes different forms, and it could for you than it does for me. For me, that's where I go into the creative spot, where I go into problem-solving mode. I want to tackle some of my creative endeavors for my work. I want to write, for instance, and that's where I feel most creative first thing in the morning. I don't want to be reactive and having to react to all the messages in my texts or my email or my Slack. I don't want to start my day on the defense. I want to start it proactively by creating. So I will write a podcast, right? I'll go through interview questions. I will go and write my next book. But the morning time is for my creativity. And I protect it that way. Now, does that mean I'm not doing other things? No. For certain things I have to do, I'll do it. But for the most part, that morning time is for my brain to get information out, to be creative. Now, in the afternoon, instead of creating, I want to consume. And the afternoon is where I want to learn. That's more of my learning time. And so what am I doing? Primarily, I could listen to podcasts. I could be reading books, which is my favorite thing to do. Yes, I can listen to them on Audible, and I do that when I travel. I listen higher speeds, obviously, because I'm a very fast reader and processor. But I like to read. For me, it's a physical book, and I like to get my reading done at that time. I like to consume information or consume conversations as well. So in the morning, I create. In the afternoon, I am consuming. And then finally, in the evening time is when I want to clear. And what does that mean? I'm not being creative at night. I don't want to be in that creative state, and I don't want to be consuming a lot of stuff at night either, because I don't want to be in my executive brain, right? I want to be able to phase and go in that parasympathetic, rest and digest. And what am I doing? I'm going to clear my mind of that day. So what am I doing? I'm journaling. That's a wonderful way to clear your mind. I think a journaling practice is important, whether you're journaling things that happen during your day. It's great training for episodic memory, the episodes of your day. If you want to do a little gratitude at the end of the day, it's a wonderful time to clear that. It's also a great time to plan, meaning some people have trouble sleeping because they're ruminating, thinking about all the things they have to do the next day. And I want to clear that also. So I will plan my day the night before, and it'll clear my mind so I don't have to be thinking about all the things I need to do. And I'll do an experiment while I will fast forward at the end of the next night and say, somebody asked me, like a family member or friend, how was your day? And I was like, this was amazing. This is incredible. I crushed it. And then I asked myself, what had to happen in order for me to feel that way? And I just think of like 3 things personally and maybe 3 things professionally, but not a 200 thing, to-do list. So 3 things personally. And they don't have to be big things. Maybe I walk the dog, a little bit extra time or something like that would be on my personal side. And I think about the 3 important things for my work that I want to focus on. But I'll clear it at night and I'll plan it. And then that will be my focus the next day, if that makes sense. But I don't have to think about it once I release it. Because what you resist persists. And you try not to think about all the things you have to do the next day, it gets even harder, right? So I'll journal. I will plan my day and put it out on paper so I don't have to think about it. And that's a way of clearing. And my third way that I prefer to clear is through meditation. And I will actually phase down. And meditation is where I kind of clear my mind.
That concludes today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. Today and every day with your kiddo is a gift. Enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in.